In the previous classes, you have studied with method overloading, with an static keyword, static variable, the different types of examples, then static method, static block, then moving with a very important concept of the program, that is this keyword. This can be used with object variable, can be accessed used with class method, constructor method call, constructor call, and as well as a class instance from the method. The most significant use of going with this keyword is it is going to extract the exact value, or it is going to refer the particular value, or it states the information as well as the behavior of a variable. So for that sake we are going to use this keyword. Just in the simple example how actually this keyword is going to be helpful. Then how you are going to use with the class method, then moving with the class constructor, then going crossing with the method as well as constructor call, and lastly with the class instance. Today we'll be going with the next part of your second unit, that is garbage collection as well as finalize method in Java. Garbage collection is nothing but unwanted variable declarations will be there. Just I will take an example of your C programming language. When you want to declare any variables within a C programming language, they will be wasting the memory. When you want to execute, if for example you take int a comma b and you are going to store some values within a and b, you execute the program and you just go for the another program, execute them, the area whatever a and b had been utilized, it will be there itself until you are going to delete that program or a variables. That is the problem you are going to have, where in which if the variable is not in use, then also it is going to extract the memory informations at the position. So what you should have to do, it can be avoided, it can be reduced, or it can be deleted by defining with what garbage collection. Garbage collection is one very important part of your Java programming language, where unwanted, unutilized, or unutilized information whatever present or whatever the objects are created which are not used for a long time, they are directly deleted. They are directly deleted. That is nothing but called as a garbage collection. And finalize is one method which is used for garbage, deleting the information which are being executed by default. When they are created, constructor is a part of creation of objects, where you want to create an object, and finalize is a method which is going to delete the created objects when they are not in use. So we'll be going with a simple statement here how actually the garbage collection as well as the finalize method is going to be used. So constructor is used to initialize the properties of a object. Yes or no? When you are going to create a class object, then ultimately that particular information will be called at the time of runtime. That is nothing but called as initializing the properties. Okay. When an object is no more required, it must be removed from the memory so that memory can be reused for other objects. Is it right or not? When a particular program has been executed and it is not at all used for the next purpose, or it is not at all useful for another programs or within the program, particular program, at that position you can delete that particular, then you can delete the object from the memory location, and that memory can be used utilized for other memories. Removing unwanted objects or abandoned objects from the memory is called as garbage collection. What do you mean by garbage collection? It is going to remove the unwanted and unabandoned. Unwanted means not at all used. Abandoned means which is not at all used at the position and which is going to create a very unusual things within the memory buffer. Such an objects or variables or anything else, if they will be freed, we are going to call that one as garbage collection. In the language C++, GC is performed manually by using with the destructor. Constructor is used for creation, destructors are used for destroying. Here instead of using destructor, we are going to call that one as garbage collection as well as finalize. But there is no destructors in Java as 100%. In Java there exists better mechanism to handle the garbage collection. You need not to delete unwanted objects explicitly. JVM does this for you. Okay, What he is going to say here, he- if you don't want, if you need not to delete, ultimately by defaultly if you want to delete, that can be done by your JVM concept, Java virtual machine. What it is going to say, if any variable or object which is no longer at the longest position, if it is not used by the programs at that position, it is going to be deleted directly. There is no necessity of deleting again and again explicitly. Explicitly means by fondly you are going to go and delete them. JVM implicitly sweep out unabandoned objects from the memory. Yes, implicitly means by inside itself. When there is no any use of that particular variable object or anything else like that way, it is going to delete that one and free that particular space or a memory for other relocations or using that particular memory for other objects. That is called as garbage collections. Garbage collections directly used by your JVM method, and we'll be going with the next one, that is finalize method. How actually the finalize method is going to be used? Finalize method is a protected and non-static method of Java lang.object class. If I wanted to use a method within a Java programming language, you should have to extract a class name called as lang. Java is a statement dot lang is a class. Through that object class, you are going to access the finalize method. This method will be available in all objects you can create in Java. This method is used to perform some final operations or cleanup operations on an object before it is removed from the memory. You can override the finalize method to keep those operations you want to perform before an object is destroyed. Here is a general form of that particular method. So what it is going to say, finalize before deleting. If you wanted to do anything or if that particular object to be needed within your program, at that position you are going to use with finalize. Garbage collection destroys, deletes the unwanted and abandoned objects. Finalize, until and unless it is in use, it is going to be extracted, used, and then afterwards it is going to be destroyed. That is nothing but called as finalize method. Okay. Then garbage collection can be utilized by using three different types of things, that is main thread, thread scheduler, and garbage collector. In these three threads, main thread is used in is user thread and remaining two are daemon threads. The user thread means you are going to create, and daemon threads means they are running actually at the background. You just see it, you can understand that. Okay, a simple example has been given here how actually the finalize method can be used. Sorry. A simple statement he is going to have here that the task of main thread is used to execute the main method, the task of thread scheduler is used to schedule the threads, the task of garbage collector is used to sweep out unabandoned abandoned objects from the heap memory. Abandoned objects or dead objects are those objects which does not have live references. Garbage collector thread before sweeping out an abandoned object, it calls finalize method of that object. After finalize method is executed, object is destroyed from the memory. That means cleanup operations which may have kept in the finalize method are executed before an object is destroyed from the memory. And you can understand from this one, main thread is used to execute the main method, where thread scheduler is going to schedule the different types of threads, and garbage collector is used to delete or unwanted informations or sweep out the informations which are unused within the heap memory. Heap means it is a area in a stack where your all the objects variables are stored commonly. Unabundant or dead objects, if you wanted to remove from the memory buffer, before to that one you are going to delete, will be deleting, or you want to utilize all the information from that particular object, then afterwards you want to delete that object from the memory buffer. Garbage collector thread does not come to heap memory. Whenever an object becomes abandoned, it comes once in a while to the heap memory, and at that time if it sees an abandoned object it sweep out. Sweeping means deleting those objects after calling finalize method on them. Garbage collector thread calls finalize method once for one object. Means whenever you want to create any objects, at that time if you don't want to access that particular object in the future, then ultimately finalize method will be called. That finalize method, what it is going to do, it is going to delete it. Deleting means what? We don't want that particular object to be used in this particular program for the future. We can call that one as garbage collection. So you can have simple examples here how actually the finalize method is going to be used for different six different shape. In some scenarios, finalize method is not at all called by the garbage collector thread. For example, when I executed the below program in my system, finalize method of a class A is not at all executed. You can just check over here. A simple example has been given here. Class A is having with int I is equal to 15. Then you're going to have protected void finalize throws variable. Don't worry about this particular statement. System.out.println from finalize method. What it is going to do now here? A1 is equal to new A2 is equal to new A1 is equal to A2. So finished. What you have done here, whether you have been calling any function like this way, overriding means if any objects are created, then ultimately there should be a constructor for a class. Is it right or not? Yes or no? A class constructor or any method should be there, then only you can override that one and you can execute this one. First, most of the level you should have to define. Now both A and B are will be pointing to the same object. An object earlier referred by A1 will become the abundant. So this is unusable because A1 A2 is assigned to the A1 and A1 already whatever the values will be there, it will be dumped. So A1 and A2 are created but they are not called by the class A. So for that sake A class will be not executed. So finalize method is not going to be executed here. Until unless you are going to create objects through the classes, then only we can override or we can use the finalize method within the program. Otherwise no. We can go with a simple example, another one. Here you are going to have with you can use finalize method to the executed possible using either runtime dot get runtime dot run finalization or runtime dot run finalizer on exit true. But both the methods have disadvantages. Runtime dot get runtime run finalizer makes the just best effort to execute finalize method. It is not guaranteed that it will be executed in finalize method displayed in the JDK because sometimes it runs finalize method on live objects also. So once again, to avoid the problem which has been there within the first point, in the second point, what he is going to do, he is going to use a word called as runtime dot get runtime dot run finalization. What it is going to do, just it calls the A1. If it is alive, then only it is going to be deleted. Otherwise, no, because abandoned means it is not at all live now. A2 is live. Is it right or not? So for that sake, once again, you are going to have a problem here. What it is going to do, it is not going to execute your class A. Then if you are going to use with finalizers on exit, means when I wanted to delete a particular object, if it is not created means you can't delete the objects from the class. So how you can define the other information? You can call garbage collector explicitly using system.gc or runtime.gc get runtime.gc. Again, it is used as a request to the garbage collector, not a command. It is up to garbage collector to honor this request. Sorry. What it is going to do now? Here you have been included one function here. What is that? Constructor. This constructor, what it is going to do? It is going to create the information. Then afterwards you got to utilize with the outputs. So at that position, when A is created and you are going to have with 10, A2 is going to have with 20, and A2 value is stored within A1. So A1 value of 10 is abundant. So ultimately you can delete that particular information by using with system.gc. Then that value will be deleted directly without having any information to the class. So A2 is going to remain same and A1 will be deleted when it is created. So he is going to say an object earlier referred by A1 will become abundant. Abundant means it is not at all used. It is suppressed. 10 will be suppressed and you are going to use with a value called as 20. Okay, so 20 will be there, 10 will be deleted from your system or say within the memory buffer, which can be utilized for other particular purposes. This is nothing but how actually the gc command is going to be used. Then you're going to have some another simple examples how actually the finalization you're going to do. You just check out with these things, or you can execute this particular program within your system if you're going to have. Check out with each and everything. This is very important garbage collection you're going to have. The other things we will discuss in next coming days. Thank you.